Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives and another episode of Garage Review. Today, in the past we have done a lot of, reviews for some really massive garages. We're gonna tone it down a little bit. Still a really good garage over here. I would say that this is a fantastic foundational garage. Like, there's a lot of fully upgraded cars here, as you will see. So we're jumping into Hootie's garage over here. 500 RQ, 10,000 trophies, 23,000 cash, and a whopping 64,000 gold. But the fun thing about this, right, is let's have a look at the fully upgraded numbers. Okay, so 34, 79, 90, 78, 105, 23, and 1. Okay, in other words, for every every 5 ultra rares, there's 1 max epic, which is really impressive, to be fair. So yeah, let's just filter it by all cars real quick. And as you can see, oh wait, we'll see it in a bit. Yeah, there you go. So out of 106 ultra rares, this guy has 105 max. So let's play a game, guys. When he goes through his entire garage, let me know down in the comments below if you found the 1 ultra rare that he has stock. But anyway, let's get straight into it, man. Now, easy thing to say is that the person that owns this garage, Hootie, he definitely understands Blossom Choice. I mean, definitely a lot of Blossom Choice cars here. But Blossom Choice is a little outdated now, honestly. It only goes up to PL15, and we've had like 2 updates since then. So the Bloss-Lee Choice will come out eventually. Yeah, anyway, we'll go with the comments first, and as you can see, I mean, it's maxed or nothing, and it's the same way all the way up to ultra rare. So one better than my garage. My garage is maxed or nothing up to super rares, but my ultra rares, I mean, obviously I have a bunch of unlocked ultra rares lying around. I need the fuse material for my epics, you know how it is. But anyway, guys, as you can see, lots of Blossom choices, like the Pontiac Firebird, the Suzuki, but that's not going to be Blossom Choice. That might still be, but, like I said, new updates and things always change. Cappuccino is always a great car, can't go wrong with that. Lotus 7, Nissan 260, Honda Beat. It's a very small common collection, and you can say that it's the same for, all of the rarities. But one thing I will say is that you definitely do hit the rarity in all the right spots. You know what I mean? Like, you have that Audi coupe, it's new, but you know that it's good because it has really good handling, and I think it's also medium ground clearance. It's a car that I don't own, to be fair, but it definitely looks very good. Obviously, you guys, you know me, I overlook comments all the time. So when I was looking at this, garage, and I saw that 82 handling Audi, I was like, hey, that's actually pretty damn good, not gonna lie. So yeah, it's a very humble collection. But it's nice to see that everything here is fully upgraded. Everything here is max. Hopefully you get a Porsche GT3 as in the photo. One thing that I definitely can tell is, quite jarring that it isn't here is the Chevrolet Monte Carlo. You should probably go get yourself a Chevrolet Monte Carlo, because if I remember correctly, if I'm seeing correctly, I don't see a Chevrolet Monte Carlo in this garage. I think it's around RQ 17, 16, and it's definitely not there. So that's a car that you probably want to use with the 1.5 mile. Obviously, if you want to focus on the lower rarities as well, I have like 4 pages of notes here because I already did this garage review. This is just a video section of it. Maserati A6 G2000 for RQ10, TVR Tina, also RQ10, and the Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, RQ19 standard tire, City Street Small Beast, and a Hairpin Road Wet Beast, I believe. City Street Small Wet, by the way, which is a very, very good car as well. But once again, guys, when it comes to commons, it really doesn't matter. I mean, like, you just need to, the common meta is just Blossom Choice, or Bloss-Lee Choice, as it will soon be known. You will know why later. Whatchamacallit, yeah, you just collect cars needed for challenges. That's about it. Like, the commons are never gonna win you a Tri-Series prize car. I mean, I can't wait for the day that a common is actually required. We've seen a rare been required, and we've seen a super rare been required to win you a prize car as well in the most recent LC1 finals. Obviously the Mazda MX-5 was super key for the Koenigsegg Agera, I think. But yeah, we've never seen a common being super useful. We've seen an uncommon been super useful, though. It was the Land Rover Discovery. Land Rover Defender for the MC12. Now it's a rare, but it used to be an uncommon back when the MC12 was given out. So we've never seen a common been 100% needed. But yeah, that will be the day, huh? All right, moving on now. We move on to uncommons in this collection, and as you can see, we continue with hitting the rarity in most of the right spots. Some very strong cars here, like the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, the Citroen SM 2.7 injection. I would say that the Ford Mustang Cobra is a little outdated. It used to be a Blossom Choice, but there's a better car out there. Panther, and the Nissan, I think it's like Sunny, not Leopard, Sunny Turbo. And then you have some pretty strong cars like the Suzuki Carrera, Dodge Daytona, D100. Definitely a lot of great cars, but it's always thinking about, what we can expand on this. And obviously, I have a lot of extra information about this garage, and I'll tell you right now. So, basically, for Huti's garage, things to know is that his dream prize car is the Pagani Huayra R. So I really do hope that you get the Pagani Huayra R. My dream prize car, Camaro Z11LE, or the Sauber Mercedes. His favorite brands insist of Porsche and BMW. His favorite SAGs consist of World Expo, Road Trip, concept cars, and motorsport. And countries that he likes to focus on, mainly Europe, with an emphasis on Germany and the UK. So now that we know this information, it might make more sense to the cars I'm about to suggest to him. So cars that you should probably look at for uncommons: the RQ20 Volkswagen Scirocco. It's not BMW, it's not Porsche, but it is German. The RQ20 Alphasud Quadrifoglio, which is a great 86 handling, lightweight, super cheap uncommon twisty car. The TVR Tamar RQ27, the new one from Lock to Lock. And last but not least, the RQ28 Lancia Fulvia 323, proven to be pretty incredible, honestly, on the standard tire uncommon meta. So those are the cars that I definitely say that you should probably go get, that you are missing. You have a lot of good cars in here, but definitely, like I said at the start of the video, what I think of this garage, and I'll conclude with this later, it's a very good foundation point, it's a good stepping stone, but it still has a very, very long way to go. If this was a garage back in 2017, 2018, with 400 cars, most of them being maxed, it would probably be classified as like a whale garage. But now this is basically what intermediate or maybe even mid feel. I'm not roasting you, don't get me wrong, it's just that that is what I would expect from a mid garage now. Just about 400, 500 cars fully upgraded. So moving on now, let's go on to Rare. Now, Rare notes, this is not the first time I've reviewed this garage on the notes. So the same thing as I said last time. Rarity, and I've seen this with a lot of garages, always seem to be the most loved rarity. Like, people always invest in rare, and I understand why, right? Because not every player has the income and the resources to invest in ultra rare, even though I think that is the best investment for a rarity. Super rare is also kind of expensive. Uncommon is a bit too crap. So rare is a really good middle ground, I think, and I do tend to agree. Some of my favorite rarities in the game includes rare, ultra rare, epic, and of course legendary. Those are some of the best, and then obviously the rest would be like super rares, uncommons, and commons. Those I don't really like to care about, but yeah, rare is really good, man. I mean, the rare, I would say, is the entry level of very impressive performance. This is really where you see 90 plus handling, or a sub 4.5 seconds 0 to 60, stuff like that, or top speed that surpasses 150 miles per hour or 155. So there's some really good cars here, but what I will say that you're definitely missing, especially since you are a UK collector, or at least you say that you like British cars. We go all the way back to RQ31, and there's one very massive car missing here, especially if you are a British collector, and that is indeed the AC Cobra MK1 289. Ain't here. So definitely look for the AC Cobra 332 when you get that. Some other cars I would recommend: RQ34 Lotus Elan Sprint 323, RQ37 Lotus Elan 323. And if you are a German collector, when we go up the ranks, it's not wrong, it's not bad to collect a beast in the RQ38 Porsche 928S. And I would 323 that as well. For those that don't know which is the 928S, it's the Porsche with the side profile where you can't really see the front or the back of the car. Last but not least, this is a little bit of, my personal opinion, putting a blossom spice on your garage review. RQ39 Bentley Continental R. Handling is crap on the car, don't get me wrong, but it serves a very niche purpose of being a medium ground clearance coupe, and I feel like it's a very strong car for, especially, well, strong car for the hairpin road, but especially for the ocean city streets, because it has a ridiculously low 0 to 60, high top speed. MRA is not horrible, but it's definitely not good. It's very Subaru-ish, but a little better than that, right? The Bentley Continental R is a very strong car, I would say, especially if you are a UK collector, which I know that you are. So a little bit of blossom choice spice in there, I would say. It's not a blossom choice car, but I feel that the Bentley Continental R would be a good selection to your garage because of what it is, and also because I don't see a lot of medium ground clearance cars in general with performance tires in your higher end. BBR is low, Sylvia is low, and I mean rear wheel drive, okay? Because I understand that the Renault 21 and the electric, they're both medium, but one is standard, the other is four-wheel drive, right? Jannetta is low. The only car that you kind of have to your name right now is the Dodge Hornet and the Focus, and both of them are very handling heavy based. So the Bentley might be a pretty interesting addition to the garage. It's also the only coupe, being that the Estate is obviously an Estate, and the Dodge Hornet, I don't even know what that's classified as, maybe an MPV, SUV, I don't even know, but definitely not a coupe. But yes, moving on to super rares. I mean, if that car is classified in the coupe in the game, I don't know what to say. All right, moving on to super rares now. Cars that I would say definitely look out for, all right? So the number one thing that's weak in your garage is that versatility, right? You have a lot of Blossom Choice cars, and that's great, but you got to move on from Blossom Choice now. Once you've laid out that foundation, it's time to build on that, right? It's time to open new pastures, all right? And one thing that you need to do is, I would say, focus on more versatility. So yeah, Dodge Avenger is a fantastic car, and honestly, you could probably run 2 or 3 maxed, and you'd be really good. But the issue is, you only have that one Avenger to your name right now. What happens if you are in a low RQ situation where you need to use low RQ super rares, and you needed to use 2 medium ground clearance cars? The only thing that you have to your name is 1 medium Avenger. So what I would say is maybe add some more variety. So I've recommended the MG Metro RQ41, great handling, very light car, performance tires and medium. The RQ40 Mini Cooper S convertible sidewalk, once again it's also medium, performance tires, front wheel drive, and also German, and also some standard tire love, right? We're adding the Jaguar E-Pace, the Ford Granada Scorpio, both 4-wheel drive standard tires with medium ground clearance as well as the Volkswagen Lupo. So yeah, once again, see, everything here is low. Abarth low, Lotus low, Subaru low, Charger low, Audi medium, but standard tires. You see what I mean? You need a little bit more variety in that, okay? That's my opinion. I mean, the next thing that you have is mid-range. That's the Saturn Iron Redline RQ45. That's 5 RQ difference to which an RQ40 is, you know, and sometimes you don't have that much RQ to play around with. And the Saturn Iron Redline isn't even that good of a medium ground clearance. I mean, there's also the Vauxhall Corsa below with way better handling, which is also really nice to see. One thing that's cool though, last review, I told you to get the Lotus Elise, which you did get, and it got a buff, so congratulations on that. But yeah, as you can see here, super rares. Once again, it's a mix. I would say, like, it's missing a lot of key cars, but there are a lot of key cars over here, like the Miura P. I mean, it's not DB3S material anymore, but it's still pretty good. Lotus Elise Sport, the Ford Explorer is really strong. The D-Type is really good. That Jannetta G40R is very strong as well. Very nice to see. Plymouth Superbird upgraded the correct way. Nissan Cherry. So there are some very, very strong cars here. Also the Renault Clio Cup car, the R21 Turbo, all very good selections, and of course the Aston Martin DB3S. So now let's move on to ultra rares. Now this one's a pretty interesting situation, because usually with ultra rares I'll say things like, oh, I'll talk about cars that you need to fuse away and cars that you need to max. The issue is you have 106 ultra rares, 105 of them are already fully upgraded, so there isn't much to say besides the fact that maybe we can point out at the ultra rares that you do not have, and the ultras that maybe you can look at. And straight off the bat, RQ50, you guys see what's missing over here? There's a really big car missing on RQ50. Ready? 3, 2, 1, Dodge Circuit EV. You gotta get that, man. That thing is ridiculous. Another one is the, well, no, you have the Charger 3. I just saw it. So, yeah, the Circuit EV. That's the biggest one there. I would probably get 233, 323. Best packs to get it from American Concepts. Dodge Carbon Fiber would be a good one. And then when we move up to RQ62, I think a really good car to add to your collection, which I think will be great, fills a lot of holes for you, would be the Mini Cooper John Cooper Works, or Mini John Cooper Works. The RQ62 front-wheel drive performance tire car that is able of reaching, I believe, 94 handling. That'll be a great car for you. Why? Because front wheel drive, it has a low ground clearance, one of the best front wheel drive cars in the game for ultra rare category. Also British, will be a very good collection to your garage, especially for a UK collector. So definitely look out for the Mini John Cooper Works. I think that'll be a car that you like a lot. And then also, you know, other ultra rares to look out for. Anything from Amalfi Coast will benefit you, honestly, because, you know, all the Alfa Romeo, especially on the low end, because I feel like your low end ultra is on the weaker side. Amalfi Coast got you covered. They got some good low 0 to 60 cars, some amazing handling cars, even, you know, those lower lock to lock cars that are not Morgan, basically just the Jannettas, will be pretty good for you. And last but not least, since you are a UK collector, what I would recommend, Jaguar Carbon Fibers. There are a lot of amazing Jaguar ultra rares out there. Great hybrid cars with fantastic MRA, low 0 to 60, and decent top speed in some cases as well. So definitely look into a Jaguar carbon fiber. I feel like a Jaguar carbon fiber would be really beneficial for your garage. Moving on to your epics now. To be honest, because you don't play a lot of clubs, there's no rush to max any of the epics that you have. The Caterham 7270 honestly is the best one. After looking at your entire garage, and I wrote this down in the notes, the Caterham 7270 is the most versatile, right? You can use it in clubs, but it'll be fantastic if it's ever needed in multiplayer. Amazing handling, super lightweight, standard tires, like the super light version of standard tire cars. It's a fantastic little beast, that car. Another car that I would kind of recommend would be the RQ74 Jaguar XJ13, mainly because it's used a lot in a lot of events in top drives. And once again, knowing that you are a British collector, it might be a pretty decent car. Also, it's style icon, so definitely has some pluses to it. And one car that I do genuinely want to ask you about, this Porsche Cayenne Coupe over here, that's 233, isn't it? Because this at 323 should have 87 handling. 88, you 233 that, didn't you? That's a mistake, and that isn't even an old mistake. That's a new mistake. That's a new car. Unless there's something I don't know over here, you want to go 323 on that all-surface tires. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting upgrade. I don't know if you get a lot of value out of that one. Now, well, actually, I do know, because you also have a spreadsheet of every single car that you have. And when we look at RQ75 and we look for the Porsche Cayenne Coupe, you have a win ratio of 77%. I feel like that could be slightly higher if you upgraded it the correct way, considering it's 77% from 159 races. So not too bad, I would say. Now, moving on now, we move on to legendary, so nothing much to say over here. Some really good cars though, the Donk, the Gallardo, the DS numero 9 is really nice that you see you max it out, because I remember the last time I reviewed your garage, you had the DS numero 9 stock, and I told you to max that. I said that that was the best car to have maxed, and it's nice to see that you have it maxed, and I feel like it's been a really good servant in your garage. Let's look for the DS over here. RQ77 DS, is that in your spreadsheet? Yeah, DS numero 9 concept, and it has given you a win ratio of 83%. Out of 1,536 races, so that is really nice. Now let's move on to legendaries, and once again you got some very strong legendaries, namely the Lancia Delta HF Integrale. This is a new pull for you, I can see, the Panamera, and that's pretty good, to be fair. 4-wheel drive, medium ground clearance with decent handling as well. But the best of the bunch goes down to that Moby Dick. That is the best legendary in your garage. The last time I reviewed your garage, your best car was the McLaren 720S GT3, and it's really good, and I can see that you're working on maxing that. But honestly, that Moby Dick, in my opinion, is the best car in your garage. I played this game for 5.5 years now, and until today, my Moby Dick is still incredibly useful for German events, mainly because I don't own a 962, and neither do you. If you don't have a Porsche 962C, the Moby Dick is one of the best cars for you to use. Not a lot of German cars, surprisingly, has a combination of the MRA that the Moby Dick possesses, as well as the low 0 to 60 the Moby Dick possesses as well. So very strong car, very impressive. But overall, it's nice to see that your garage grew. To be completely honest though, I reviewed your garage last year, 11 months ago, and I don't think it's grown as much as I expected it to, because you are not a free-to-play. But yes, it's still a very good garage. Like I said, it's a very good foundational stepping stone, but it's definitely time to maybe set some goals, and I say this in the notes as well. Maybe set some goals to tell yourself you gotta max 10 to 15 cars a month. I think the only thing that you might want to focus on is start to invest in slots. If you want to free-to-play slots, then definitely save up your gold for those, 25 slot offers, ceramic packs. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today. Hootsie, if you want to know more in-depth notes, I've obviously sent them to you on the server already. But anyway, once again, thank you so much for sending over your garage, and I'm just really happy. I turned this one over pretty quickly. Usually when someone sends me a garage, it takes me like a week, month maybe. I'm just really busy, but this one, I mean, I told you that I would start working on it on Sunday. I did, and it's getting posted on Monday, so I'm pretty proud of that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for sharing your garage, Hootsie. Hopefully I'll see it again next year with a bunch more legendaries. I've tracked down your numbers, so now I know how many cars you had upgraded. You have in total 34 common, 79 uncommon, 90 rare, 78 super rare, 105 ultra rare, 20
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville.